What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Brahma Bullpen, celebrating the first ever victory in San Antonio Brahma history. Let's go, baby. Horns forward. Producer, pop up that beautiful Yelder graphic, catching that ball. I cannot believe how much improvement we saw from week 1 to week 2. What do you think, Haas? Are you excited for the San Antonio Brahmas?
Excited. Very excited.
There should be, hopefully producers got like confetti and music and everything just blowing through here. Cloud9 got the dub week 2. Not only did we get the dub, we dominated the Guardians. Dominated.
On the road, baby.
Let's get it. On the road, man. I'm just going to get into this game. I was excited and yelling from drive number 1. Mm-hmm. Great drive. Right down the field. The running game, we'll talk about that later. Didn't do great. Got down on like the 2-yard line. Balaj got stuffed right there on the TD. I'd love to see him busted in there and just manhandle Orlando. Didn't get that from him this past weekend, but we did get that nice play action pass, baby. Got that nice play action pass for the first touchdown. Yelder was there. He was great in that. Our tight ends, bro. We talked about this, I think, episode 2. My position, our tight ends, and the tight ends came to freaking play, baby. Give me some tight end stats, Hoss. Just shower me with winning tight end stats, please.
So our boy, Elise Mack, 4 catches, 48 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had 5 targets. And then our other boy, Dion Yelder, he had 2 catches, 13 yards, and another touchdown. But he was targeted 3 times. That's 8 total targets to the tight end.
And 2 of the catches were circus catches. Mac did
elite receiver catches.
Elite receiver catches. There you go, Elise Mack. Way to represent the San Antonio Brahmas, baby. Way to represent the bullpen. Way to represent the XFL, dude. Mm-hmm. What a great catch over the shoulder, tapped it to himself, and then the touchdown pass on that very same drive, man, over the shoulder. That's probably one of the hardest catches to make. Full run over the shoulder, defender right on your body, and he just snagged the ball, bro.
Yeah.
Just snagged the ball. One thing about the offense, the first drive probably was it seemed like the scripted plays in the first drive. Like maybe they had practiced those exact plays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, 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 down the field. They were money. Orlando gets the ball, same thing. First drive, money. Then the team settled in. Then the coaches started adjusting to the play calls. Defenses probably got keyed up. Game slowed down, especially for Orlando. But hey, Jack Cohen, hey, man, I told you he was our guy. Boss, shower me with some winning Jack Cohen stats, please.
He had 16 completions on 24 attempts, 165 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He actually technically had 186 passing, but he got sacked twice for 21 yards, so that comes off of his throwing yards.
Hey, nobody's perfect, baby. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Sure. Got us some slack. We'll go ahead and just get the negative out. We started the show so hype, so much action, got our first win. I'm excited. At halftime, we had -7 rushing yards.
Yeah.
We had some O-linemen injured. I know you got the injury report, Hoss. Tell me about the O-linemen that were injured. You got it right there?
We have offensive lineman Kai Abshir. His knee at full participation. He was a knee probable. Limited practice. We had, or did not practice. We had the offensive lineman Derek Kelly. His leg was out. The other offensive lineman Norman Price. His knee was out.
That hurts, man. It hurts. Hopefully those guys could get healthy, get back on the field, start making holes for Balaj and Patrick. Give me the combined, we're going to call it shower me with winning rushing stats, but we all know the passing game and the tight ends and got us this win. So give me those running back stats, man.
So it kind of sucks, but it's also kind of good. Jack Cohen technically was our leading rusher. this weekend. He had 3 carries for 23 yards, and Kalen Balazs had 12 carries for 23 yards, and Jaquise Patrick had 10 carries for 19 yards, and John Hilleman had 1 carry for 1 yard.
He got the tud, right? He got the tud.
Yeah, he got the 1 TD.
Yeah. Good for him, man. Glad to see he got on the field. I also like seeing Hines Ward, doing what he had to do to get that ball in the end zone. He said, you know what, if Patrick and Balazs are not getting it done, let's throw Hillman in there, man. Let's speed him a little bit and get him in the game. Yeah. So that was awesome. Our defense was, the first drive they were sketchy. They gave up a big run, blew a cover that just basically gave Orlando the momentum they needed to score the touchdown. The touchdown that they scored in the fourth quarter, our defense made them freaking work for it. Hines Ward made them work for it. I love watching the challenge play for that pass interference. Even the ones that they didn't challenge were somewhat touchy pass interference. What do you think about those pass interference plays, Hoss? Were you glad they threw them, or you think tell me what you think. And I want an honest opinion, not a Brahma opinion. Tell me what you think about those pass interference there at the end.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what to say.
They were touchy, man. They were touchy. I'd like for those pass interference calls to be definite. If they're questionable, keep the flag in your pocket, ref.
Let's think about this too. We're not at the NFL level, right? But these are professional players that have played for so long through school, high school, college. Obviously, they're really going to know how to play the game, but let them fight. Yeah. And if it's obvious, right, that's obviously that caused him not to catch the pass or to get that touchdown, yeah, let's throw the flag. But other than that, let them play. And I feel the same way about the roughing the passer penalties as well. I was hoping the roughing the passer penalties would be definitely lighter in here too. I'm not complaining though, because we did get one for Jack Cohen that moved the sticks. So you won't hear me complaining about it for this game.
Yeah. And Jack was calling it right away. I love the mics, the hot mics, dude. He was calling. What'd you count? 4 F-bombs? Did you count? I counted. I got like 4.
Hey, even Hines Ward, as soon as that's a late hit. That's what he was saying. That's a late hit. Come on.
Yeah.
And we got it.
I think a prop bet the XFL app should be F-bombs over and under F-bombs. Come on, let's embrace it. Yeah. I don't know if the FCC or other regulatory authorities care for that, but hey, man, that's real life, bro. You go to one job site or one big office or one where it's a primarily male-dominated situation in your day-to-day life, and if you don't hear a couple of those wah-wahs in there, come on, man. They're there. I had someone tell me that we should cuss more on our podcast, and I was like, this is a family podcast here now. I don't think we should. But speaking of cussing and getting out that frustration, producer, would you please key up the video of Orlando head coach Reggie Barlow, and let's share that with the people right here. And action.
Hey, special teams are killing us, man. They started, that's the second game in a row, they started the ball on the 45. Hey, we got 10 freaking again. We had 10 on the darn field again. Alinga, punt return.
I was coming out the field, nobody told me. My bad.
I missed punt return.
Yes, sir.
You should know that.
I got you, my bad.
Dang it. Yes. San Antonio. Got a freaking ball block, man. You got to be kidding me, man. You let the guy, I know you now. Don't let the freaking guy just run by you. You check, but he's coming. You can feel him. See.
It's often that we.
All right, what a video. Hey, Haas. Hey, Barlow was benching everybody. They interviewed him at halftime. They said, what do you need to do, coach, to turn this around? He said, find new players. Let's bench everybody. Find someone who wants to play, someone with that dog in them. Hey, man, then he's up and down the sideline. You can see communication issues. There are supposed to be players in on punt, on the special teams that weren't on special teams. When we blocked that punt, our special teams blocked that punt. you can hear Barlow telling one of the guys, like, hey, you got to block him. Don't just let him run past you.
Mhm.
And, hey, and producer, if you can, key up that highlight, that'd be cool too. You can play that while we're talking. One thing, man, XFL did the series of Know My Name, Hines Ward, Know My Name. And one of the quotes I got from that I saw come to fruition, Coach Ward gave 3 goals. He gave 3 goals that he wanted from his team. He said he wanted to be the best special teams unit in the XFL, which is crazy coming from a wide receiver, putting that significance on the special teams. But you see the field goals, you see the kickoff, and you see the punting. They've had big impacts in every game this year. His second goal, because special teams was his first goal to have the best unit. His second goal is to win a championship. And then the third goal is kind of questionable for me, Haas. I didn't prep you for this. You probably don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to just throw it out to you, and I want instant react. He said his third goal, so special teams, championship game, third goal, he wants 20% of Brahma players in the NFL next year.
Whoa.
Okay. Give me your immediate reaction of Coach Ward making that his third goal.
Well, it's not going to happen, first of all. Second of all,
be nice, be gentle.
I love the enthusiasm. Of course, you want your whole team to make it to the NFL if it can happen. Obviously, that's their goal here. I don't really know how I feel about it as a XFL supporter and as a fan of the Brahmas, because obviously you want your team to be great.
Yeah.
But if there's someone outstanding that deserves to be signed a contract in the NFL, then absolutely someone, they should be able to get their chance. There's no doubt.
I'm gonna change that. You know what I'm gonna change it to? I think the XFL, Hines Ward, and all the fans' goal should be for the players pay to be up 20% by next year, and then 20% the year after that, and 20% the year after that. We just saw the announcement of Under Armour becoming a corporate sponsor for the XFL. Get this thing going. We know the Brahma logo for the Rock is Under Armour. We saw all the uniforms have the Brahma logo, the Under Armour logo. I love the fact that they're trying to get players to the NFL, because if that's where players want to go, that's where players should go, right? But at what point, and I know it's early, we're 2 games in, bro, so you guys want to hate on me, that's fine, but at what point does the goal change to competing with the XFL instead of competing with the NFL instead of getting our players into the NFL? And I know we're not there yet. But 20% increments year over year. Let's get it. Let's make that a goal. I'm throwing it out there. The Brahma Bullpen goal is to get these players paid so they have an option, NFL or XFL, and go from there.
And here's the thing. The XFL is a very entertaining league. Like, a lot of people are on the fence, like, oh, it's just a lower level league, not going to get that many views, but it's actually entertaining and it's fun to watch. These are what some of the NFL players and past NFL players have tweeted about the XFL. Tyreek Hill, we all know who that is. He tweeted, "The XFL is lit." And then another tweet is from Chad Johnson. We also know who Ocho Cinco is.
Did he change his name back to Chad? I thought his name was Ocho Cinco.
Well, people know who he is, regardless of you call him. Which he says that he is enjoying the XFL and thinks it is a good opportunity. Really enjoying the XFL and the opportunity for these fellas to get to or return to the big stage on Sundays. Even prime-time NFL players are enjoying this league, which means it's got to be successful. I mean, we see all the different little rule changes in the league that makes every game entertaining at any point, obviously. And it can be exciting and fun to watch. So to go with your point of, should the players, if they're not going to make it to the NFL, obviously it's going to bring more income to the league and to the trademark of it. Of course, them as players that are forming it should be able to make more money as well. I definitely am on board with that.
Yeah. Hey, producer, throw up that Mike Mitchell tweet I'm going to send you. I know I've talked about Mike Mitchell before, dude. Mike Mitchell's the GOAT. He's the GOAT reporter for the XFL. Go to Mike Mitchell for everything. Look him up on Twitter, @by Mike Mitchell. He reported TV ratings for the four games on cable for week 2. We'll just call them out real quick. Thursday night, St. Louis, Seattle, 553,000 viewers. Saturday, the DC Vegas on FX, ESPN, Deportes, 605,000 combined viewers. Sunday, the Orlando versus San Antonio Brahma game, where the Brahmas dominated Orlando, 781,000 viewers. And then the Sunday game, the late game, Arlington versus Houston, 678,000 viewers. It's a drop off from the week 1. Week 1, we had a couple of ABC games that got 1.5 million. But a 781,000 on a non-ABC, non-prime cable network on a Sunday, going up against other sports such as college basketball and NASCAR, stuff like that. It's a respectable number. There's a core group of fans that are watching these games, and as that goes, so does everything else go. Producer, if you pull down that Mike Mitchell tweet, let's go ahead and throw up the attendance. We'll talk about that real quick. San Antonio Brahmas obviously leading in attendance after one, there's 2 games, 1 home game, that 24,245. But if you look at the Houston Roughnecks, 12,275, 12,784, 12,784 for week 1, 11,765 for week 2. The DC week 1 game, 12,438. The Arlington game, 12,047. The Seattle first home game, 12,011. You can see, I gave the wrong number again. The Orlando game was 12,011. The Seattle game was 10,886. You can see that the San Antonio Brahmas are, doubling up everybody else. I fully expect that these St. Louis Battlehawks take over that number 1 attendance spot. But if San Antonio can win the game in Houston this coming week and then win the game in Arlington next week, I'm thinking when we come back home, we're gonna get to that 30,000 mark. If we come to that 4th game here at home, and where Arlington comes into the Alamo Dome, I think,
and the Brahmas are just rolling,
and the Brahmas just rolling 3-1. They keep they're dropping 30 points a game and shutting people down. Man, I think 30,000 is on the horizon for us. So good viewership, good attendance numbers. It's 2 games in. Let's not get too crazy. Brahmas got the dub. And anything else on the Brahma game, Haas, I think it was an all-around great game except for the running game. We're going to get that fixed. O-line guys are going to get healthy. We're going to continue to feed Balaj and Patrick to set up the pass. And I really think Orlando came in after game 1 and said, okay, leading rushing team in the league. We're going to shut them down. They stacked the box. There was a safety down there all day. And credit to Jaime Elizondo and Coach Ward for making those adjustments and throwing the ball, man, doing what they had to do to get points on the board. Special teams doing what they got to do to get points on the board, getting that block. And, just all out great win, man.
Well, just to highlight our offense part of the game, it was you got to see Jack Cohen a little more comfortable for sure in the offense, despite having your run game basically shut down. Especially in first half, and then coming into the second half, Jack Cohen being able to be the leading rusher off 3 carries. That was pretty exciting for me, because if you can incorporate that into your RPOs, dude, the offense could almost be, unstoppable. If you have Jack Cohen not rushing a lot, not, rushing 7-10 times a game for 50 yards, but just those little 15 to 25 yards, dude, those are game changers for our offense. And obviously we had no run game. And so with him being able to run, and kind of kept the defense honest to be able to also play the run and pass, even though they shut down their running backs, our quarterback can still run too. So you don't know whenever he rolls out of the pocket if he's going to get a few yards or not. So
Hey, bro, Jack don't want to run the ball. You see, he needs to spend all this week working on slides, dog.
Oh my God.
Both of those slides.
Oh my God. I forgot to tell you about that.
Look, bro,
he scared me. I thought he almost broke his ankle one time whenever he slid.
Bro, okay, look at me.
Right.
If I was to try to take a slide, that's what I would look like. Okay, and that's not good for our starting QB. So he don't want to run the ball. I'm telling you, he's not a runner.
I don't want him to run the ball so much, but I want him to be able to help keep the defense honest. So if he can get 15 yards a game, 20 yards. Shoot, that's a game changer.
Man, what a great game. What a great weekend. We'll go ahead and do some other game recaps. Producer, can you throw up the score sheet that we got here for the rest of the games? We'll start off with the Battle Hawks, and just leave that up, producer, while we go through these scores and talk a little bit about each game. So we'll start off with the Thursday night game, the Battle Hawks 20-18. Battle Hawks got the dub. No doubt they're the best team in the North. I'm going to start calling these like the cardiac chickens because they don't win a game unless it's in the last minute of the football game. I just don't even know with these guys. They just keep it close, and then they come up, and then they win. You know, and the St. Louis defense, lights out, dude. They literally shut down Danucci and shut down Josh Gordon, the flash. There was no flashing going on that I saw. I watched the whole game. These guys, they don't care about the first, second, third, or half of the fourth quarter, bro. Okay, they don't. It's the second half of the fourth quarter. If they're within striking distance, they're going to get it done. Credit to A.J. McCarron. Credit to Coach Beck. Credit to all those wide receivers and those old linemen, all those big uglies up front, just stepping up in crunch time, getting that game done. Seattle, the attendance was, a little lower than I thought it was going to be. We covered those numbers earlier. But the Seattle fans will step up. They'll get into it. They're 0-2. Seattle's 0-2. I'm glad Brahmas are not 0-2. Battle Chickens are 2-0, man. You got anything on that one, Hoss? You want to move on to the DC Viper game?
Let's move on.
All right, man. So we're going to the DC Viper game. I am not a negative Nancy. I want the XFL to succeed. The DC Defenders won that game 18-6. It was nasty. It was ugly. It was windy. It was rainy. It wasn't a desert. It was more like playing in a rainforest, right? Okay, I live in South Texas, dude. And if it doesn't rain every 2 weeks, your grass dies. You got a dormant Cashman field. It's bad look. They literally painted dead grass green, which is fine. The announcer booth was made out of construction scaffolding, and I've been in there. So kudos to the announcers for calling that whole game from that construction scaffolding, because that stuff was shaking. That wind was blowing, and that scaffolding was shaking. Okay. I would love to see them playing in a better stadium on a better field. I'm sure anybody with any common sense would say the same thing, but we're not going to focus on that. I like ugly football games. I like rain games. Sure. I like low scoring sluggernaut games. The kicker slipping towards the end, they want to blame that on the field. I blame that on the equipment, man. Put bigger cleats on that left plant foot. That's all I got to say on that. Wind killed the passing game. Both teams loaded the box. Points were hard to come by. One of the thing is looking at Ta'amu, he was a stud in the last iteration of the XFL. Dude, did he lose a step in the last 2 years? I mean, I don't know what to say about that guy. What is it? What you got? You got Ta'amu's stats right there, Haas?
Yeah. His passing is 11 completions on 23 attempts, 93 yards, and he had 12 rushing attempts on 68 yards.
Those stats sound way better than it looked. Maybe he didn't lose a step, but initial reaction, dude, those stats are way better than it looked.
And to compare to the Vipers, so he had 93 passing yards. They had 98 passing yards. Brent Hundley was 11 for 18, but Brent Hundley had 24 rushing yards. So the quarterback battle, as far as being won, was Jordan, obviously.
I thought Hundley was the best quarterback on the field while he was on the field. I just watching the game, the stats don't really bring that out, but it felt like it ran a little bit smoother with him in there.
Jordan had 2 fumbles. I know one of them he got hit from the
football, bro.
D.
You get hit.
Huh?
I said, it's football, bro. You're gonna get hit. Hold on the ball. I don't know. I think also King for DC because there was no passing. There was no passing in the game. Bringing King in as that option there in the third quarter when they went down and scored that touchdown, they were pretty much unstoppable, man. The stats weren't great, but King won the game. Call out King's stats, bro. Tell me what King got there for the DC Defenders.
He had 4 carries for 32 yards and 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He has no receiving.
No passing. So he just ran. And those stats are nothing, right? They don't even sound significant.
Trash.
But
Except for the touchdown, obviously.
He won that game for DC, dude. When he came in, changed pace of game, ran that QB option. He kept the ball when he needed it, and he handed it off when he needed to, and he won that game for him, even though it was ugly. So, anything else on that game before we move on to the Texas Showdown?
No.
You know,
let's move. I don't want to
glaze
as fast as possible.
I don't want to glaze over the score. We're going down the score. The producer should still have it up. There's that 30-12, baby, right there. We already talked about that game. Next score down at the bottom: the Arlington Renegades 14, the Houston Roughnecks 23. I will again reiterate that the Roughnecks are the best team in the league right now. They're executing on both sides of the ball, getting turnovers and scoring points. Any thoughts on that, Hoss? Are you going to refute me? Are we going to get into a fight on air about stats again this week? Or what do you got on that? Nothing?
I don't think the Roughnecks are the best team in the XFL, and I think we'll see that this weekend. But we'll see.
Who's better?
In my opinion, I already told you, just based on offense, right? The offense is what's going to win this league. And
you haven't told me who's better. Who's better?
I already told you, the Battlehawks, they're better. AJ McCarron, Marcel Aitman, all those boys over there, they're
all right. Well, we're gonna hash this out right now. You got stats pulled up?
For which team? I got Houston stats.
Okay, not for the game. I want to know
overall.
Oh yeah, I want to know how many points Houston has scored combined in 2 games.
Scoring.
So you got 23 in this game. I think it was 33 last game, but go ahead and you're on the XFL website. Just go to the schedule.
It says that the Roughnecks have 3 rushing touchdowns. They have 7 total touchdowns and 1 2-point conversion.
Okay. So that's 42 plus 2. So you're telling me they've scored 44 points based upon what you just said, right? Okay.
Yes.
What does the Battlehawks got?
They have 4 total touchdowns, 1 2-point and 1 3-point conversion.
Okay. So 4 touchdowns is 24 points. 1 2-point and 1 3-point
and 1 3-point.
So that's 5. That's 29. We just answered who has the best offense in the league.
No.
Moving along.
Stats lie all the time.
Big dog.
All the time. Let them boys in St. Louis continue to settle in on their offense. There's a reason why AJ McCarron turned down $4 million to be a backup in the NFL and why he's starting for $60,000 here.
The reason is he wanted his kids to see him on the field. He wasn't getting on the field in the NFL.
And he wants to play, too, to show people.
Yeah, okay. All right, man. Well, Houston defense shut down Arlington to start the game off. They got up 11-0 real quick. Last time I checked, they had 5 sacks in the game. You got Houston stats. How many sacks did they end?
They had 5 sacks for 38 yards.
5
minus
sacks.
38.
Minus 38 yards, bro. Most sacks out of any team for week 2. Arlington's defense is decent. They caused a couple of turnovers themselves. One on a punt coverage, and they caught a tight end. They caught a touchdown there. They've got that. Hold on. It was a punt. The ball got turned over very close to Houston's goal line, and they got the touchdown to keep them in the game. But ultimately, it wasn't enough for them to go ahead and take that win. The tight ends in this game, Canella and Becker, turned this game around, and they dominated. They dominated in that game too. So you got a great who's got the better tight end battle shaping up for this weekend there in Houston.
I also hope that the attendance numbers in Houston are going to be better than it was for their Arlington game. Just, I don't know, San Antonio, 2 Texas teams going at it. Probably more people going to have more interest in the game.
There's a 99.9% chance that the Brahma Bullpen will be in Houston. 99.9. chance. There's a 0.1% chance that Mama Brahma Bullpen shuts it down. I haven't actually told her yet that I'm going to the game, but I have been challenged on Twitter by XFL Outsider to attend the game and represent the San Antonio Brahmas. Tweeted out earlier today that the best way to dominate an opposing team is by sitting in their stands and getting that dub. So we're going to try to answer that Twitter challenge. If anybody's going up there that are fans, are part of the Brahma Bullpen, or even if you don't like me, if you're the fake Brahma Bullpen impersonating me on Twitter and you just want to come talk smack to me because I've been harassing you on Twitter, come find me, dude. We'll have a beer and we'll get together and we'll try to make it look like the Brahmas are taking over up there in Houston. So the producer behind the screen has promised to drive so Brahma Bullpen can drink on the way up so that by the time I get to that game, I'm prime, baby. Let's get it. All right, man. Go ahead and pull up the schedule for week 3. If you would, please, producer, pop that up on the screen. First game, 4 p.m. on Saturday. The Sea Dragons versus the Vipers. 2-0-2 teams. Somebody's going to get a win this weekend. Go Vegas, go Seattle. Someone's got to win, baby. That way y'all can celebrate like we celebrated to start off the episode. Then we got 3 games on Sunday, 1 p.m. Battlehawks versus DC Defenders. 2 undefeated teams from the North Division. That's going to be a great game. Watch for the YouTube short where we're doing the Brahma Bullpen picks every week, and we'll recap that. And then you got the Guardians going to Arlington, 3 p.m. game, and then the game of the weekend. This will be the game of the weekend. The San Antonio Brahmas versus the Houston Roughnecks. Can our defense shut down the Houston Roughnecks offense? Can we keep from turning the ball over? Houston is getting turnovers in both of their previous 2 games. We need to take care of the ball. We need to run the ball. And I wouldn't mind seeing a couple tight end touchdowns again so I can show my boy Yelder and Max some love here on the Brahma Bullpen. All right, producer, pop up that roster composite. Haas, what do you think?
The average stars for our team, the San Antonio Brahmas, is 3.2. Our average score is 0.863. Then for the Houston Roughnecks, their average stars is 2.9, and their average score is, I'm going to assume it's a 0.829.
0.829. Hey, bro, I'm not.
I don't think it's 8.29 because we'd be in
there's
trouble.
A decimal in there.
That's all I'm saying.
We're not perfect.
We're not professionals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be one day when we get some sponsorship, but we'll see. Anyways, look, man, I think Houston's going to be tough to beat. Producers texting me stats right now. Give producer a little love. We've all seen on Twitter this past couple of weeks that Roughnecks did not lose a home game in the 2020 season. They have not lost a home game yet. They're like 7-0 all time or something like that. That's good. 2020 stats don't matter, bro. They're 2-0. Okay, they're 2-0. That's all that matters. We're 1-1. We're going in there. We're gonna get the dub. Keys to the game. We're gonna have to run the ball, man. We need 125 yards rushing. We need that 250 passing, and we need under 1.5 turnovers. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you the 1.5 turnover. If we have 2 turnovers in the game, we're done. I think that's gonna be hard to overcome with Houston's defense. But if we keep it to 1 or less, we want to see 0. But we keep the turnovers down. We'll get the running game going, and Jack continues to play like he's been playing. I think we can get that dub up there in Houston. What do you got on that game, Haas?
Well, both those stats that you said is going to be lower, unfortunately. I hope they're not, but based on what we saw in this running game, let's hope Elizondo makes the adjustments and Hines Wards that our running backs can get at least 85 yards rushing, and Cohen needs to have at least 210 to 25 passing yards. He needs to. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
At least turnovers as possible.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Houston's been getting that ball from the other team. All right. We did a little episode last week. We called football rules, football etiquette. We're going to talk another one. We're going to talk another football rule, football etiquette. Every now and then things happen that get there, maybe a pet peeve of mine. Okay. And it's probably because I'm an Aggie fan, did not graduate. Aggies don't have a lot of t-shirt fans, but I will count myself as one of them. T-shirt fan, Texas A&M, show me some love. With that being said, horns up, horns down, and horns forward. They are all very different. I have to admit, when we went with the horns forward as our catchphrase and our hashtag for social media, I was slightly concerned because of how close a horns forward is to a horns up. I will not, nor should I look, any true Texas A&M fan or alum, any true Oklahoma fan or alum, and maybe any Big 12 team other than the Longhorns fan or alum should never participate in horns up. Okay? I'm not dogging on the Longhorns. It's just the way it is. You know, it's okay for me to do a birds up, okay? Because it's not a lifelong rival. But it's not okay for me to do a horns up. We see the graphic we got pulled up here. You have a horns up, which I will not be demonstrating. Haas, would you care to demonstrate a horns up? I will not be doing it.
You know I won't.
Okay. That was a check. That was a dog check. I was making sure you had that dog in.
We both dogs in here, okay?
That was a check. That was a check. Our producer, Side Point, used to be a Longhorn fan, and then for some reason, Johnny Manziel turned into an Aggie fan. And I'm like, that's not even allowed. That's not even allowed, bro. I don't even know. Maybe one day we'll talk about Fight Song Story on our podcast when college football season comes around. But that's a whole other thing. That's two teams you can't intermingle. So you got horns up, and then you have the disrespectful horns down. It's done like this. This is horns down, everybody. Check the graphic. Let me see, just in case the graphics cover me. That's horns down. Okay, that's enough of that. I don't want to chase off all the Longhorns. But with that being said, the reason horns down is such a significant hand gesture is because the University of Texas in Austin, or Texas University to aptly describe it, petitioned their conference for 15-yard personal foul penalties for horns down because they don't like it. Okay, absolutely ridiculous that a university would do that. And then we have the horns forward from the screen here, horns forward, from the side view, horns forward. This is horns forward. So you got up, down, and forward. We in San Antonio have two hand signals that are acceptable at the games. If you got two hands, you want to do two hand signals, just get the birds. We're UTSA supporters. You can do birds up and you can do horns forward. I'm not running around at Brahma games doing the gig of Maggie, even though I want to, even though I want to. I'm not going to, because this is a San Antonio Brahmas game. So one pet peeve, we talked about the wave last week. We're talking about horns up, down, and forward this week. San Antonio Brahma fans, do me a favor. Practice your horns forward in the mirror so you know where your hands are pointing. I'm tired of seeing horns up all over the daggum Jumbotron and all out in the tailgate parking lot at a Brahmas game. It's forward, not up. And for you Aggies, Brahma games, XFL games, horns down, also not allowed. When they join the SEC, feel free. It won't be a penalty in that league. That's all I got to say about that. You got anything, Hoss? Let's show the Hoss. Give me your horns forward. Let's see it. Let's yeah. You're going with just the one hand forward. Oh, you're gonna go.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see my left hand over here.
So you're dual hand.
My bad. Forward? There you go.
Dual hand forward. Okay, there everybody. That's how Hoss does it. That's how I do it. Dual hands forward. Let's go, baby. Horns freaking forward. All right, everybody. All right, got my roster pulled up. We're going to talk a little XFL fantasy. Didn't get a chance to do this last week. There was just so much stuff going on. Go ahead and pull that up, producer. So as you can see, in my league, your boy, the Brahma Bullpen, is number one. Got me a 6-point lead after 2 weeks. Thank you, Elise Mack. Thank you, Jack Cohen. You guys did yeoman's work. Didn't win the week, but I'm in first place in my league. This week, I'll be starting Jack Cohen again. We're going to need points. He's going to be throwing the ball. Brian Hill, I'm watching him. He had a hammy last week, didn't play. But, St. Louis is a great team. I think Brian Hill's going to get it done if he's healthy. Martavius Bryant in Las Vegas. I got 8 men from St. Louis. I got the Flash, Josh Gordon from Seattle. I got my boy Elise Mag. I got to start with boy Elise Mag, dude. I have a hard time, should I try to grab Yelder? What should I do off waivers? But, hey, man, I'm going with Mag, dude. I know they split time. And then XFL News Hub, the newshubfantasy.com, from the XFL News Hub, they added a kicker, so I had to grab me a kicker off waivers. I went into last week without a kicker, which is probably why I wound up losing. But hey, grab me the kicker out of Seattle, Dominique Eberle. He's a starting kicker, and he's been doing pretty good this year. So that's my starting lineup. You can see there, and I'm in first place. For those of you that are playing fantasy, hopefully the fantasy will continue to grow with the XFL. I'd love to see XFL fantasy become closer to the NFL fantasy, maybe get on the ESPN app. I love what the XFL Hub fantasy is doing here. It's a little clunky, a little hard to use. It's hard to do off your smartphone, but hey, man, the guy's doing it for free. It's fun. It's a way to talk smack. If you guys want to play, there's a donate button where you can go on and just donate him a few bucks, try to help him out. All that stuff. Mark Perry's doing all this. So you guys jump on there, have some fun. You got the XFL prop bets and pick'ems. We won't go over that this week. I'll do a little short and throw some prop bets on there and show everybody what we did last week. So watch for 2 YouTube shorts, one for just game picks and one of them for XFL fantasy. And who knows, man, we'll keep that growing and keep that going. Well, we already talked week 3. We already talked week 2. We already talked fantasy, and we talked football rules and etiquette. What else you got, Hoss? I think that's going to be it for me, man. I got nothing else, bro. What you got?
It's going to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it
6.
up. Yeah.
Wrap it up, episode 6, but we do it the right way.
In the books, episode 6 in the books. With that, we're going to end it like we always ended, baby. Brahmas are going to take that dub, get Houston their first L in Houston. The Brahma Bullpen, 99% chance we will be in the stadium. As always, baby, let's go Brahmas. Horns forward.